What's the most dominant style in MMA? Most would say wrestlers, right? You have fighters like Habib, Islam, GSP, John Jones, who are some of the greatest fighters of all time, and they all share grappling as their base. If we look just a couple of months ago, 6 out of the 8 male UFC champions could be considered grapplers. So how do you beat the grappler then? Well, just a couple of years ago, the style that dominated UFC were strikers with good takedown defense. You had Leon, O'Malley, Pereira, all of whom are strikers with great takedown defense. But they all lost to the new generation of grapplers because of one simple mistake that they do and that you do. I always took Leon Edwards as the perfect example of what an anti-grappler should look like. Leon obviously beat Kamaru and Kobe Covington, the previous generation of wrestlers, by defending the takedowns and forcing them to strike with him. And that looked like the blueprint. But then something weird happened. In his fight against Bilal, a fight which most, including myself, saw as the perfect stylistic matchup, Leon got beaten. But that's not the weird part, because then we saw Bilal, the dominant pressure wrestler, lose his next fight to Jack Della Maddalena, a guy who in his previous fights had trouble on the ground. So what separated perfect takedown defense Leon from trouble on the ground JDM? Well, it really comes down to how they approach the whole concept of takedown defense. Leon and his gen of anti-grapplers approach takedown defense like this. They shoot, you defend, you reset. This doesn't work, because the grappler doesn't need to take you down to win. Merab is the perfect example of this. Shooting is enough, because that is time where he's imposing his will on you, even if he fails. Leon, Sean, Pereira all lose because even when they defend the takedowns, that is time where their opponent is winning the round. So by simply resetting after the exchange, they've just lost an exchange on the scorecards and now have to do more if they want to win. The new approach, however, is different. It goes like this. They shoot, you defend, you punish. The difference is at the end. After they've shot on you and you defended, they've just won that time of the round. Time which you need to get back. This is the most frustrating part about watching Sean, Pereira, Leon. They'll get taken down or held up towards the fence for 2 minutes straight, and then they have 90 seconds left in the round, and they choose to play the leg kick game with their opponent. You have to have some basic form of urgency if you want to win. If you look at JDM versus Bilal, in the 5th round, it could very well be 2-2 on the scorecards, and Bilal has managed to take JDM down twice. He could definitely be winning this round, but Jack manages to hurt him, and it's not some lucky shot like some other people I can mention. No, that's him having some basic urgency to try and win a fight, and it's the same in the Burns fight as well. So immediately after you've defended, you need to punish them. But how do you do that then? Most dominant wrestlers we see today are chain wrestlers. Usually, they will shoot on you, and most fighters with good takedown defense are able to defend the first shot, but they then start to work in the clinch. Here is where most fail, because when you force a striker to chain wrestle, they will eventually be unable to defend whatever you try. But an easy way to stop this before it even starts is to master the clinch. Most UFC fighters have a good understanding grappling-wise of the clinch. They're able to trip you or control you towards the fence. But where you're gonna separate yourself is by mastering the Muay Thai clinch. The Muay Thai clinch is all about damage. Elbows, knees, punches, all of that. And for some reason in MMA, it's very underused. Yet, we see a lot of fighters like RDR and Andreas Gustafsson dominate opponents by implementing more of a Muay Thai clinch. So whenever you defended a shot and they try to clinch you up towards the fence, you start to hurt them. Throw a hard knee to the body, an elbow, punches to the body. This is stuff that won't KO them, but will give them a split second of, oof, maybe I don't want to clinch them after I've shot. Hesitation. Hesitation is the key to beating the grappler, making them overthink. Because the second a fighter, striker or grappler, starts to question what to do, you've almost always won the fight. You saw RDR beat Bo Nickel with this by spamming knees and punches in the clinch. You saw JDM beat Bilal by making him hesitate to clinch. But that's only your first layer of defense. Your second layer of defense is to accept it. Wrestlers always get praised for how mentally tough they are, and that's fair. They are very strong. They have that whatever it takes mentality. They will do anything they can in order to impose their will on you and get you down. They'll just grit through it because goddammit you're going down. And frankly, you can't stop that. No matter how good takedown defense you have, eventually you are going down. But we can weaponize that against them. Because if you accept the fact that the wrestler will get you down, you have a chance to win. If you have this delusion that he's not taking me down a single time, you will lose. You're just procrastinating, pushing forward the inevitable. You're so focused on not being taken down that you become reactive to whatever he's doing. And that's why most grappler v striker matchups end up with a grappler outstriking the striker. Accept that you're going down, but what you have to do is to make them work for it. If they're gonna get you down every round, you better make sure those are the hardest takedowns they have ever gotten. It should drain them. You want to make them fail as many transitions as possible until they get it. You're not gonna let them get it, of course. If you can escape, do so, but they probably won't allow you to escape until they have you down. And the good part is, this only gets easier the longer the fight goes. Now, we've accepted the fact that we probably are getting taken down, and that's fine, but we can't allow them to keep us down. I know all of you have practiced your pretty technical escapes on the ground, and that's great. But the problem is, the grappler wants you down because he knows he's better than you there. So if I put you in this scenario, you're losing the fight on the feet and being technically outclassed. You can A, keep playing it technically and try to beat him there. Or B, you can brawl with him. I should hope you chose B, and it's the same on the ground. He is better than you on the ground, that's why he wants you down. So you are going to brawl with him, kinda. You're going to scramble for dear life as if the floor is lava. The trick to a good scramble is constant movement. You're going to move around constantly, not at a high tempo, but enough to make it annoying for your opponent. And this puts your opponent in a predicament, because he can either choose to try to advance into a better position, or he can stay safe and sit in the same position. Either way we can work with it, because by constantly working, you will eventually find an opening, and when you do, you amp the intensity up to max and you get out of there. In the same way that the playing field evens out a bit when two fighters brawl on feet, the same applies when two fighters scramble. So your opponent's technical grappling advantage won't matter as much when you're in those chaotic exchanges on the ground. So let's say you get out, you scramble and got up. Right there is a small room for counters, because in the same way you have an approach to takedown defense, defend and punish, the grappler also has an approach to defense, that being shoot, he defends, reset. In those few seconds where the wrestler is resetting, you have the perfect opportunity to punish them. So after you defend and you break away, immediately go in with a punch combo. This is stuff that's meant to hurt them. No low kicks, no pitter-pattering shots, no. Hard shots that really tell them to be careful. And this once again comes back to hesitation. Hesitation is the key to beating the wrestler, in the same way it's the key for the wrestler to beat the striker. The first person to start thinking in a fight will lose. I don't mean fight IQ thinking, that's good. I'm talking about those small thoughts in the back of your mind. You want to be on autopilot. So, how do we put this all together? Well, essentially it goes like this. As soon as they shoot, you defend, and you defend for dear life. If they get you down, you're scrambling your way up to the feet. If they don't get you down and instead choose to chain wrestle, you're going to maul them in the clinch. Weaponize your elbows and knees and punish them for even attempting it. Make them feel an urgency to get you down. And if they do, then we're back at scrambling to our feet. Now, it's very important here that when you get up, you immediately punish them. You're probably losing this round on the scorecards, or it's even, so you need to set yourself apart from them. So immediately you'll punch off the break, go at them trying to hurt them. And this is the secret to anti-grappling in modern MMA. You have to have that urgency to get back at them when you defended or you've gotten taken down. Otherwise, you'll end up losing to grapplers in every fight you have. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop your feedback in the comments down below. Until next time.